Hello everyone, this is Marcin, FM Cosmetics UK corporate trainer. Welcome to my webinar. Today I'm going to talk about FM Group fragrances, as we had quite a lot of requests regarding to that. So, what will you learn today? The first part of the presentation will help you get familiar with FM Group's offer as far as perfumes are concerned. And the second part is based on frequently asked questions. Then, at the end, you will have a chance to go through a personality quiz that I've prepared for you to find out what kind of fragrances will be suitable for you. So, have a pen and a piece of paper with you, because I think it's going to be quite necessary to have it, especially for the last part of the presentation today. And I'm sure that after the webinar, you will be able to deal with your customers' questions on perfume much more effectively. So let me start to tell you a little bit about Drom. Perhaps you are familiar with Drom, perhaps you know the company, you are familiar with the name, and I will tell you a few more information on that. So Drom Fragrances is a high-tech laboratory located in Munich, in Germany. It specializes in production of essential oils, essential fragrance oils. Drom has branches in 43 different countries worldwide, and each has 4 production sites. FM Group has been cooperating with Drom fragrances from the very beginning. As a result, there are 150 different fragrances for men and for women. Drom employs one of the most professional experts who create beautiful perfume oils. Those people are called noses. In order to protect their sense of smell, because it is very important for them, noses must live in certain conditions where the humidity is measured and so is the temperature. They cannot eat certain kinds of food, for example, spicy food, and surprisingly, they cannot wear fragrances. They really sacrifice so we can enjoy wearing beautiful scents. So, what does the International Division of Fragrances mean? And also, perhaps you are quite familiar with those terms. So, if in a bottle of perfume there is up to 12% concentration of the fragrance oil, it is called Eau de Toilette. If there is up to 16% concentration of the fragrance oil, then it's called Eau de Parfum. If the concentration of the fragrance oil in a bottle is minimum 20% or more, then it is Parfum. So what kind of perfumes are available in FM? The fragrances in FM we can divide into few categories, as you know. So let me start and tell you a little bit about our classic collection, because that will be the first category. FM perfumes of classic collection are a wide selection of fragrances for every occasion, for men and women. Here you will find elegant scents for work, refreshing notes perfect for a sunny day, romantic floral aromas, as well as wonderful elegant scents, excellent for a visit to the theater, for example. The concentration of the fragrance oil in classic collection for ladies is 20% and for men 16%. All bottles, as you can see, look alike, white boxes for ladies and black for men. Then we've got Pheromone collection. Pheromones are some of the most popular aphrodisiacs. They help stimulate senses, make you feel very attractive. These are odorless substances, harmoniously blend with the most popular fragrance compositions by Federico Mahora. The concentration of the fragrance oil here is 16 in Pheromone collection for men and 20% in Pheromone collection for ladies. Then we've got Hot collection. The Hot perfume collection includes the most popular FM fragrances with an extraordinary high concentration of the fragrance oil, which you perhaps cannot find anywhere on the market. So that is 20% perfume oil in fragrances for men and 30% concentration of the fragrance oil for ladies. And finally, we've got luxury collection. FM Group luxury collection is unique, elegant and chic. Almost all fragrances come in different bottles, which highlight our fragrances beauty. In this collection, you'll find both women's perfumes and men's fragrances. The concentration on of the fragrances oil here is from 16% up to 20%. If you have a look in our catalog, so this is our newest catalog, then you can see all the information regarding the fragrance oil. So let's move on with the webinar. And let me answer the frequently asked question: why high street brands are so expensive? Let's compare. What does the final price of the product consist of? Because in fact the answer lies just there. If it comes to FM perfume and high street Eau de Toilette or Eau de Parfum, it looks as you can see in the slide. In FM, the final price of the product consists of producer's margin, cost of packaging, and the fragrance oil, which is in the bottle. The final price of a bottle of fragrance in high street consists of producer's margin, cost of packaging, and the fragrance oil, which is in the bottle, but also the price consists of advertising, endorsement, margin of the national wholesalers, regional wholesalers, retailers, and of course accumulated VAT. So take a look at this slide here. So this shows how long is the way of conventional marketing. The product must go from hands to hands, and everyone in this chain wants to earn money. The price goes up many times before us, customers, are able to buy the product in a shop. So let's compare that to network marketing. Let's compare that to FM. In MLM, as you can see, the way is much shorter. There is no middleman, no endorsement, advertising, etc. So that's why we are able to produce high quality products at lower price, and simply we eliminate unnecessary costs and the middleman. So in FM, we have 150 different fragrances at the moment, 91 classic and 59 luxury. All of our perfumes are by Federico Mahora, so that's FM. Each fragrance has a number written on the box and also at the bottom of each bottle. Now, I'm going to answer some of the frequently asked questions about perfumes. Let's start from this one. What are fragrance notes? On average, in a bottle of perfume, there are from 40 to even 150 different ingredients. Some of the ingredients are lighter, they are naturally lighter and they disappear faster. Others are naturally stronger and they last longer. That is the reason why the smell of perfume changes as the time goes. Also, based on that fact, we can distinguish 3 different fragrance notes. And here's the next question arises. What do the head, heart, base categories mean? So The first smell that you can perceive just after you apply some perfume on the skin is called a head note. The head note mainly consists of citrusy ingredients, which are very light, and so they fade away very quickly. The head note may last up to 1 minute. At the departure of the head note, the heart note appears. The note mainly consists of flower ingredients, so that's why I've put the flower here, so we can better remember it. This note is much pleasant in terms of smell, and also it's slightly more longer, it lasts longer compared to the head note. The heart note usually lasts around 30 to 40 minutes. And finally, the base note appears. This note consists of quite heavy perfume molecules and ingredients like musk, wood, and different spices. This is the longest lasting note, which on average can be detected even after 12 hours. The next question that I would like to answer is, how do the fragrance families help me choose the right perfume? Because our sense of smell is so emotional, we assume that fragrances are confusing, a jumble of different perfumes with no rhyme or reason, but it's not true. When we classify the fragrances, or when you classify the fragrances you have worn, you perhaps find that they fall mostly into just 2 or 3 families. Once you know the families you especially like, then you can have a look at the table at the back of our catalog. Here we've got a perfect table, which you can see division of all fragrance family groups. And just recently, FM Group came up with an excellent solution, a fragrance wheel. You can see the fragrance wheel here in the picture. So I really recommend you to use it when you recommend FM fragrances. It's so easy to use it. You can see all fragrance family groups, and also it's going to be much easier for you to recommend some of our fragrances to your potential customers or to your current customers. Is it true that a person has his own individual fingerprint? Yes, that is very true. That is due to the fact that almost everyone has a different skin chemistry. Our skin chemistry depends on our genes or diet, for example. When perfumes are applied on the skin, the fragrance oil interacts with the oil which is produced by our skin. Therefore, the same perfume may smell different on different people. So it is very important when you show your customers FM fragrances and you use our strip of papers, make sure that your customer applies the perfume to the skin, because the smell may be slightly different compared to what it was on the strip. Is it true that sense of smell is not as keen in the winter as it is in the summer? Yes, that is really true, and it happens because the temperature increases the impact of odor. So during the summertime, it is recommended to wear lighter perfume, fresh and citrusy, whereas during the winter time we can go for something heavier and stronger, like oriental or musky. That kind of very strong fragrances, if worn during the summertime, they may be slightly overpowering. I usually give this example just to show that in fact the temperature impacts the fragrance. For instance, if you've got a cinnamon stick, if you put the cinnamon stick on the table in the room, perhaps you're not gonna smell the cinnamon stick all over the house. But if you put the cinnamon stick into the boiling water in the kitchen, all of a sudden within minutes, the smell of cinnamon will spread around your house. So the same is going to happen when you wear certain fragrances during the summertime and during the winter time. In winter, our external skin is colder, so definitely fragrances are not going to be overpowering or very, very strong, but during the summertime, when the temperature outside is hotter and our skin also is warmer, then the power of a certain fragrance will definitely be stronger. So why do we wear and love fragrances so much? Because it helps us feel good about ourselves and others. I found out that recent psychological tests show that people who use fragrances regularly have more positive attitudes towards socializing and may be more socially skilled than those who seldom or never wear it. It was generally found that people who believe that others think they smell good have more confidence. So don't forget to apply FM fragrances before your business meetings. Why can't I smell the fragrance I'm wearing after a while? This is a quite frequent question, and perhaps one or few of your customers asked you this. And this is the answer. You know, several of our senses tire after constant stimulation. The sense of smell classically cuts off within minutes. Because you can't move away from your own perfume, you become used to it. You may think it has disappeared, but I guarantee that others can smell it. For instance, if you go to your friend's house, every house has its own odor, has its own smell. For instance, it depends on what kind of food you cook. And as soon as you enter the house, you're going to detect the smell. If your sense of smell decides that this particular odor is safe for you, your sense of smell will cut off. And after 10-15 minutes, you're not going to smell the house anymore. But it doesn't mean the smell is not there anymore. So what do you need to do in order to be able to detect the smell? Obviously, you have to leave the house for a moment and come back. Then you can smell the house again. So, for instance, the same experiment you can do with FM fragrances, or you can ask your customers to do that. They can try to apply some fragrances on a t-shirt, for instance. Make sure that they spray the t-shirt from a distance, because sometimes fragrances may leave stains. So if that's safe, they can spray some of them perfumes from the distance, and if they think the perfume disappears, what they can do, they can take off the t-shirt, put it on a side, and after a while they can put it off. They can do it with a scarf, with gloves, etc. In this way, you can you can convince your customers that, in fact, FM fragrances, they last for a long time. And the next question is perfume an aphrodisiac? So, scents can definitely make you feel sexier, but there is no scientific evidence to suggest that fragrance is actually an aphrodisiac. Smell is obviously linked to our sexuality, and some experts believe that hormones released from glands in the armpit act as powerful sexual attractants in the way that pheromones released by animals do. So the sense of confidence the right perfume can give you, plus the attractive chemical cocktail it helps create, can definitely be a great turn-on. I've heard a few very interesting stories from our business partners, distributors wearing FM pheromones. So if you haven't tried our pheromone collection yet, I think it's the high time to do so. Is it true that fragrances react differently on blondes, brunettes, and redheads? Yes, yes, that is true, but it has nothing to do with hair color. The skin type is the factor. Usually people with naturally blonde hair or ginger hair have dry skin type, and people with dark hair usually have more oily skin type. And that is why perfume will interact differently with their skin, so the smell may be different. If you would like to extend the durability of perfume, make sure your skin is properly hydrated. It is a good idea to apply some moisturizer, body lotion, after taking a shower, and then spray some perfume. This way, fragrances will definitely last much longer. And the rule is, the drier your skin, the shorter durability of fragrance. So, can perfume be kept indefinitely? No, however, the expiry date is very long, usually 8 to 9 years. That concerns perfumes that haven't been opened. If a bottle of perfume has been opened, it's meant to be used. Perfumes should be used within 12 months if they belong to citrus or floral fragrance family. Those which belong to oriental or woody fragrance family may be kept up to 18 months. Those ingredients are much stronger, so that's why the length or the time you can keep them open at home can be longer as well. So that is because if you keep them open for a longer time, the strength of perfume oil may fade away. So how should I store my perfume? Keep your fragrances in a cool, dry place away from the direct sunlight and heat sources like radiators. Extreme heat or cold, cold is not good for fragrances at all, upset the delicate balance of the oils and change their scent. In fact, the worst place to store fragrances at home is the bathroom, because the temperature and humidity in the bathroom is fluctuating very frequently, and that has a very negative impact on the fragrance oil. Can fragrance change my mood? Oh yes, definitely yes. One of the most remarkable properties of fragrances is the way it instantly they instantly affect our emotions. Studies have shown that fragrances can stimulate us or calm us down, encourage a good mood or bad mood. They can shape positive or negative memories and induce sweet dreams. Aromatherapy is the art of healing with fragrant essential oil, and perhaps you've heard about that. The concept is based on the idea that aroma has the power to affect our mood. Fragrance has long been recognized as a powerful and subtle tool for rebalancing our mind and body. You know, there's a Chinese proverb that I've heard recently, which says that every perfume is a medicine. In recent study, peppermint and lily of the valley were found to increase alertness at work. And I read in one of the current newspapers that one Tokyo company pipes peppermint into the office ventilation to improve productivity. Another company sends different fragrances through the air conditioning system to enhance staff productivity as well. For instance, a whiff of citrus helps get the day off to a good start, and a touch of cedar seems to relieve tiredness during the lunch break and in the late afternoon. So nice perfume has definitely the power. Somebody may ask you, I've been wearing the same fragrance for years, so why does it seem so different now? Why does it seem so different now? What would I say? How would I answer this? There may be a few reasons. It happened probably because your personal chemistry and body temperature have changed slightly. Perhaps you are on a low-fat diet or taking some new medications. Or maybe you are pregnant, maybe you started doing more exercises, maybe you do exercises more frequently. Maybe your skin became drier. Maybe you use more or less moisturizer than before. So these are the questions I would ask my potential customer or my current customer if they ask me that sort of question. Fragrance formula rarely changes, but diet or medication changes sort of frequently. And when we take them, our skin produces different chemicals. The medicine affects our skin chemistry. So the smell comes out through the pores and with our sebum, with our sweat. And that's why our skin chemistry may be changed, and that's the reason why fragrances may smell different on our skin. Can fragrance be sprayed on the hair? Yes, but there are two conditions. Condition number one, first your hair must be strong, because if it isn't strong, the perfume may damage your hair and make it brittle. Secondly, your hair must be freshly shampooed, because if it isn't, the fragrance oil may interact with the scalp oil and the smell may not be very pleasant. So if you do not have strong hair and you want your hair to smell nice, you can use one of the femme hair fragrance sprays, which you can see in the slide here. Apart from giving your hair a nice smell, they will give it a very nice shine thanks to provitamin B5 they contain. It's not a styling spray, but definitely your hair will smell beautifully, and also they will be nice and shiny. So the next question that I would like to answer during the webinar is where perfumes should be applied. Perfumes be applied to pulse points. The pulse points are located on the body where the blood vessels are the closest to the skin. These spots emanate heat, which can help fragrance to emanate from your skin into the air. Apply your perfume to these points, your wrists, the base of your throat or necklines, behind your ears, also behind your knees, and in the inner part of your elbows. As you wear your perfume throughout the day, it will react with your body heat and continue to emit the beautiful scent. Apply your perfume from 5-inch distance. Don't spray the fragrance too closely to the skin or from a very far distance. 5-6-inch distance will be sufficient. Do not wrap, because this is completely unacceptable. So avoid rubbing the wrist together after application, and in this way you will prevent crushing the scent molecules. Wait and let it dry. Then the fragrance will last for a long time. If you wrap a perfume, then the perfume is not going to last for a long time, and also the smell may be changed. What's more, if you've got sensitive skin type, you may irritate it. Can you spray fragrance to clothes? Yes, just at the beginning of the webinar, I've mentioned that you may spray a t-shirt or a scarf, and as soon as you think that the fragrance is not there anymore, you can take it off and put it on again, just to find out that in fact it's still there. So now the question: always apply perfume before putting on your clothes or jewelry. Some fragrances will leave permanent stains on fabrics, metals and pearls, for example. If you want if you want to wear perfumes on your clothes, spray some scent on a scarf, but be sure test it on a hidden area of the fabric first and spray lightly. Sometimes people are allergic to fragrances, no matter how good they are. So applying fragrances to clothes, that's the only way they can use if they would like to wear fragrances. So definitely you can, but make sure that you do it in the right way. Can diet affect the way fragrance smell? Yes, definitely yes. If you are on a low-fat diet, for example, the oil levels in your skin tend to be lower, and you may find that your fragrance does not seem to last as long. Also, nicotine is a substance that changes your body chemistry and affects the way you smell. So if you smoke, not only will fragrances tend not to last as long on your skin, but you will also find that your sense of smell is duller. Antibiotics may also change your fragrance, the way you smell it. So let's move on to the last question. How should fragrances be tested? Apply the perfume to your wrist or the back of your hand. Don't just sniff a flacon, because it happens very frequently at our distributor center. People just smell the flacon. Don't do that, because perfume comes to life only on your skin. Wait a few moments, give the fragrance time to bloom on your skin. If you want to try on several fragrances, apply first fragrance to one wrist and wait a few minutes, then apply the second one to the other wrist and the third fragrance to the inside of your elbow. Remember, 3 is the maximum number of fragrances you should try at once. Any more and your nose is likely to become confused. And now finally, let's move on to our personality quiz. I've prepared a personality quiz for you. So if you haven't got a piece of paper yet, I recommend you to get it, as we're going to have few very easy questions, and then I'll give you some suggestions. What sort of fragrances, based on the quiz results, will be good for you? Okay, so I hope that you are ready. So the first question is, what ingredients do you love? A, oriental and woody. B, citrus and fruit. C, floral. D, vanilla and musk. You can choose only one answer. You can choose only A, B, C, or D. So please make up your mind. And in a second, we are moving to question number 2. Question number 2. You want your fragrance to make you feel A, daring and sensual. B, feminine and flirty. C, refreshed and sporty. And finally D, warm and cozy. So choose only one answer, A, B, C, or D. And now we can move to question number 3. You like to wear fragrance to A, be noticed and express yourself. B, highlight your outfit. C, feel fresh. And D, calm your senses. So please select one answer. And let's move on to question number 4. What does me time mean to you? Hunting for a hot pair of shoes. B, treating myself to a bouquet of my favorite flowers. C, a brisk jog in the park. And D, my tap overflowing with bubbles surrounded by candles. So, which is the most suitable answer for you? Please choose it. I can see A's and D's, mostly A's and D's. And now quickly we can move on to question number 5. What's your idea of a perfect date? A. Cocktails, salsa dancing, anywhere my little black dress is required. B. A candlelit dinner for 2 under the stars. C. An afternoon picnic in the park. And D. Anywhere peaceful and quiet. Okay, I can see B and A, B. Somebody said D. Okay. Question number 6. How long do you like your fragrance to last? A. All day. B. Lingers on my clothes in a subtle way. C. Short time. And D. A few hours. All day. Everyone would like the perfume last all day long. Okay, some of you just for a few hours. Great. And finally, question number 7. What best describes your signature style? A. Minis, skinny jeans, heels, anything that shows off my curves. Ruffles, bows, floral, anything flirty and feminine. C. Jeans, tees, the classics. And finally, D. Casual, cozy, cashmere, the basics with a hint of luxury. Mostly C. I can see some D's as well. All right, so what I would like you to do now, please count your answers. And now let's review the results. Unfortunately, the quiz was for ladies. I'll try to prepare something for guys as well. So here are the results. Ladies, if you have mostly A's, you love sexy fragrances, you are sexy and seductive and alluring. So I suggest you from FM collection to try out FM 17, 183 and 358. If you have mostly B's, you love romantic fragrances, you are hopeless romantic and love the dreaminess of love sweet smell. So my suggestion would be FM 23, 173 and 317. If you have mostly C's, you love fresh fragrances. You have a fresh and playful personality, always young at heart. And my suggestion would be FM 33 for you, number 6 and 351. And finally, if you have mostly D's, you have cuddly fragrances. You love cuddly fragrances. You are a cuddler who is warm and welcoming. So my suggestion from FM range would be FM 411, 180 and 357. So that's all I've prepared for today for you. So now, after the webinar, I hope that you know what DROM is, what is the international division of fragrances, you know what kind of fragrances you can find in FM and what's the difference between them. You're able to deal with your customers' frequently asked questions, and also based on the personality quiz. Unfortunately, it was just for ladies. As I said, I'll prepare something for men. Hopefully, you can try out some new FM fragrances. I'm sure that you fall in love with them. Thank you so much for joining me. Have a wonderful night, and I'll see you soon. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.